I have been writing a column called First Person in my magazine Force for the last 8 odd years. And my style of writing in the column was very personalized. I used to comment on issues pertaining to terrorism, internal security, but I used to always bring in some element of personal in it. Either it was my observations or my interaction with some people. So it was not so much of research. It was a combination of research, combination of my personal observations, and a little bit of reportage. So I was comfortable with this style, and I realized that the response of my readers to this style of writing was also better than the other style of writing, which was very straight, linear reports or linear columns written by well-known columnists in our magazine. So that was the beginning of my experiments with this format of writing. And the idea originally stemmed from the focus there was on terrorism. And I felt that in the last 2 decades, there was a lot of emphasis worldwide on terrorism, and all terrorism somehow got linked with Islam and jihad. So I had been working in this area. I had been researching in this area. And the original idea of putting together a small book on jihad was there in my mind for a while. But that was also the time everybody was writing on jihad. There were so many books in the market. So I thought maybe I should expand the subject a little bit more, bring in elements about various aspects of Islam which are misunderstood. So I basically toyed with a lot of ideas, and everything that I was thinking was coming down to my own upbringing, coming down to my own experiences. And then I realized that maybe this is the best way of approaching the subject, drawing upon from my experiences, both as a child and an adult, and also as a professional working in the area of national security and defense, where both internal security, communal violence, terrorism, everything kind of coalesces. The original idea of the book, even when I came to this conclusion that it has to go beyond jihad and it has to be a little more encompassing about Islam in India, it was still limited to the extent that I was thinking in my mind that I was talking to fellow Muslims. I was going to inform them about Islam and how they have misunderstood it. I had not thought really about writing for a wider readership when I finally conceptualized the book. But it was only in the process of writing that the scope continued to get, expanded. And then there were a lot of conversation with my publishers, and they also felt that unless I expand the scope of the book, bring in politics in it, bring in a little bit of a historical perspective to the contemporary politics, it will remain a very limited book. So I think it was, in that sense, a collective effort, a lot about my own experience, my own writing, as well as communication, regular communication with my publishers, which finally shaped the book as it turned out to be. I think the most remarkable part is the lack of criticism from both the young and old Muslim readership, as well as non-Muslim readership. And maybe that's kind of a validation which talks to me that there is space available, despite our hugely polarized society at the moment, where you can communicate with with the vast number of people without raising anybody's hackles. Of course, there are some people who are saying that it's a propaganda, and some people would say, and I've heard these comments by saying that you've gone very soft on jihadists and Islamists, you're criticizing the right wing, you're criticizing the RSS, but you have gone soft on Al-Qaeda. That has not been the idea, the focus of the book. Why should I talk about Al-Qaeda when actually it's not germane to the subject of the book in India. So I have got some sort of a varied response in that sense, but the overwhelming feedback from readers across demographics, across age groups has been that there's much that they have learned. And to some people, especially young people, it has given them an excuse to look back at their own childhood, their own growing up years. Because we tend to put these things at the back of our mind. We compartmentalize our lives and we are moving, our memories are also not readily available all the time to us. It's only that you sit back and kind of reflect on your past that you realize certain things that happened then which you did not pay attention to. So a few people have got back to me saying that reading this, I was thinking about my childhood and how it was like, and there's so much resonance with that. So all of this has been extremely useful feedback from the readers, and I'm very grateful for that, because this is helping me now conceptualize my next book, because I feel that if you put yourself out there, there is a fear that some people may mock you, but there is also the possibility that readers respond to it with empathy and maybe also self-reflection. Our nonfiction writing has evolved a lot. It is more accessible now. It's more readable. And I'm not talking only in terms of the reportage genre. I'm also talking in terms of the present day history writing. It's moved away from the confines of academics. I mean, I'm not criticizing the academia, but academic writing is a little, it's burdensome on the readers. It's not easy to read. So in that sense, our nonfiction writing is evolving a lot. And in the present times, I don't recall any other time, except this last 3 or 4 years, with so many very good quality nonfiction writing has come out, whether it's on politics or society or even economics. It's a very, very good. And a lot of writers are adopting this narrative style of writing. A lot of writers are adopting a style where the writer is present in the narration throughout. So you can actually see the writer moving as the narration moves. A writer is not absent from the book. And I like this kind of writing. And I think this kind of writing has greater possibility of reaching out to the readers in a more forceful manner. And I hope this trend continues, and maybe we'll see a lot of memoir-based non-fiction writing, something which has been there in the West for a long time. A lot of non-fiction writers do write memoir-based essays, memoir-based books. But in India, we've kept these genres very separate. There's a section of biography and autobiography, which is usually full of self-praise. But this kind of writing, where your commentary on the chosen subject, whatever it be, it is informed by your own personal observations and experiences. I think this is a very good style of nonfiction writing, and I hope it grows.